I'm in the woods. The weather's beautiful. I'm on a four-wheeler with a box full of snakes strapped to the back. It don't get no better than this. Right now I'm pulling into a location where there's definitely been a snake here. So we got to see what's going on. I know what's going on, but it's gonna be pretty cool. Alrighty. The homeowner is not here, but they've asked me to come out because they were in their backyard and they found something, and they have requested that I come here and remove it. So I'm told that what I'm here to get is underneath this basketball goal. So we're gonna flip it up, see if it's still there. Now you're probably wondering why not just leave the eggs here. Ooh, look at that. God, that thing's gross. Look at this right here. See this? This is a very beneficial earthworm. And this is not. That is a planarian. And it is an invasive worm from Asia. So I don't like to kill things, but I'm gonna kill that. I'm gonna destroy that and make sure it's not out here. And you don't just chop those up into pieces because they can actually regenerate. So I'm gonna have to make sure that thing is completely destroyed because they're not good to have around. So. All right, back to the eggs. So what kind of eggs are these? I do not know. I don't know what snake laid these eggs, but I can narrow it down. So in this particular county we're in, there are copperheads here, timber rattlesnakes, cottonmouths, and possibly pygmy rattlesnakes. I don't know if one ever been found here though. But all those snakes don't lay eggs. Coral snakes lay eggs, but coral snakes don't live in this county. And these would be really big eggs for a coral snake. So I know that these eggs are going to be from a non-venomous snake. A king snake, that'd be great. Maybe a rat snake or even a black racer. So those three are going to be my guesses as to what this is. Now, I could cut one of these open depending on how far along they are and see what it is, but I would be destroying that egg and the embryo inside. So I don't want to do that. But the other thing is too, we have to be very careful in moving these eggs. Once these eggs are laid, after a short time, the embryo basically attaches itself to the top of the inside of the eggshell. So if we get turtle eggs and snake eggs and they're moved around a whole lot and rotated, they might still hatch, but the likelihood of the embryo surviving is decreased. So we're going to pick these eggs up in this clump they're in and try not to rotate the eggs. And I'm going to put them in this box I've got here, and then I'm going to have to get them into an incubator. It's going to take a couple months for these eggs to hatch, but they look really good, and so I think they're going to hatch. At least I hope so, because I can't wait to see what they are. Now, some of you might be wondering, why not just leave the eggs here, especially since you know it's a non-venomous snake? Well, actually, the homeowner was actually really cool about these eggs and did not want the eggs destroyed. But they're moving. They're selling the house, which is why they're moving the basketball goal. So what they're afraid of is if they leave the basketball goal here, they don't know who else is going to move in, move this goal, get scared because there's snake eggs here, and destroy them. So I don't recommend moving turtle eggs, lizard eggs, snake eggs. Leave them where they are, but sometimes it might be in the best interest, in this case, to remove the eggs, and hopefully they're going to hatch. Because if we leave them here, there's a pretty good chance whoever comes here next may very well destroy these eggs. And these eggs are going to have to sit here in this position for at least a couple more months before they're ready to hatch. So we're definitely going to take them with us. Now, some people also want to know, so you got these eggs here, and if you have eggs, where's a mama snake? And that's a good question. So when mama snake lays these eggs, she leaves them. And she doesn't come back. When they hatch, she doesn't take care of them. So her job is to lay the eggs, and that's it. The eggs are right here in this container, but I don't have appropriate container to put the eggs in to fit into my incubator. So I need to go shopping. So this is the kind I like. Any of these will probably do, but these actually have a seal in here. And so when I put the eggs in, you know, gnats and insects can't get in here. Now, if it's in my incubator, that kind of doesn't matter. But with these eggs, I could actually put the eggs in here and just sit them on the shelf outside my barn, and they would actually hatch, because the temperature this time of year is good for that. But if I'm not putting them in the incubator, any of these other containers here that don't seal up well will probably work, but I just like these. It's a good sturdy container, and 2 dozen snake eggs will easily fit in there. But I'm gonna go ahead and buy 2 of these things just in case I end up with some more eggs. I'm placing these eggs into the container, and in this container I have added perlite. That's what this white stuff is. Perlite is I don't know what it is. It's used in gardening as like a medium to, I think they mix it like with potting soil maybe, and it helps retain water. That may not be what it's for. I have no idea what it's for, but I know you can buy it in like garden centers and places. And there's also a product called vermiculite. This is perlite, but there's also vermiculite. And I think it's basically the same thing, except vermiculite is like a brownish color, and this perlite is white. And I just like how perlite looks versus vermiculite with eggs. So, but what I do is I put the perlite in here, and I add water to it. And how much water do you add? I have no idea. I just add water to it to where the perlite is wet, and I can kind of pick the perlite up and squeeze it, and it's not dripping water, but it is wet. You don't want standing water in the bottom. You don't want it dripping wet, but you want it good and moist. And if it's too wet, the eggs, it'll make the eggs go bad. If it's not wet enough, the eggs dry out. But you want to keep them humid, so we use this perlite. And the lid that I'm going to put on this thing has a little opening where you can open the little lid on it, a little bitty cap on the top kind of thing. And you can open it and air can get in. But I don't open that. I don't vent this thing at all. When I put the lid on, I don't take the lid off until there's babies there. I've had really good success doing it that way. When I have vented or poked holes in lids before, I end up getting mold on the eggs or mildew, and I end up getting gnats in here really bad. And, the eggs don't hatch. So I just seal these things up. I don't put any air holes in it. And the times I've done that, I've had really, really good success. So I don't know how old these eggs are when they were laid. I don't know if I'm going to have to wait a full, couple months for them to hatch. Maybe it'll be a couple weeks. Maybe it'll be a couple months. I don't know. But stick them all in here. And that's a lot of eggs. And these eggs look really, really good. But I have high hopes these things are going to hatch because I want to know what's in here. Looky what we have here. Baby snakes. I love this time of year. Spring has sprung. It is spring right now here in the Southeast, and it is time for baby snakes to be born. Just like all the other wild animals, they give birth in springtime. That's actually completely false. It is not springtime. It is late summer, early fall, and right now is actually when most snakes in the Southeast are either hatching or giving birth. And there's a very good reason for that. I've got the little box here with the snake eggs in it. And some really good news, all the snake eggs are empty. The snakes have come out. Now, what we've got here are black racers. These are little black racers, awesome snakes to have on your property. I could take these baby snakes and drive all the way back over there to the backyard where the basketball goal was and turn the snakes loose in the woods right in that backyard. I could do that. And the snakes would most likely do very well there. But I'm not gonna. I am here in my woods, and this is where I'm turning snakes loose. Now, you hear a lot about, relocating snakes, and you don't want to, move a snake too far from where you caught it, because the snakes don't typically do very well when you do that. Some snakes do better than others. But this is a different situation, and here's why. These snakes have never really seen anything outside of this box they're in. They've been in the egg, now they're in the box. They haven't been out in these woods and established where they're gonna live. So these baby snakes, because they don't have an established home range here at all, if I put them here in this suitable habitat, chances for their survival are just as good here as they would be if I were to drive them back to where I found the eggs. Now, this particular area, I do know that there are black racers here. How do I know that? I've seen them. I've caught them. There are black racers here in this area, so I know this is suitable habitat for this species. Now, I want to open the box, but the problem with doing that is these are racers. They're called racers for a reason. They're fast, and I don't want to open this and then they all just kind of spill out. And I'm like, well, there was the release. We didn't really get to show you much, but there it went. I'm gonna try to get one out, and I'm sitting in the woods. I'm on my four-wheeler out here because I drove out here and I wanted to find a really good place in the woods to turn these snakes loose. So let me see if I can open this up and show you. Now, if you recall, there were more eggs in this box than what's in here now. And ran into a problem. Some of the eggs started going bad. And if you don't remove the eggs that are going bad, they can actually spread, mildew and mold and things to the other eggs and destroy the whole clutch. So I went back and started removing eggs out of here. But then as I did that, because I'm moving eggs, I decided to mark the top of the eggs that were going to be remaining. That way there wouldn't be, me flipping the eggs one way or the other. Come here, snake. Here, no. You come here. You come here. Oh, okay. Get your head in there. No, nobody's head. No, get your head in. Oh, this is not fun. Okay. Get in there. Everybody's head in? Yes. Okay. Everybody's head's in. This is a baby black racer. And if you notice, he's not black. This is not a black snake. He's got a pattern on him, and it's more of a brown and gray. But if you look, he's got this long, tiny, skinny, wispy kind of tail. And that's one really easy way to always identify a black racer, is that long, skinny tail there. It's also got really big eyes, and that, now you're probably thinking, my, what big eyes you have. And that's all the better to see prey with. Okay, so this snake is diurnal. What that means is it's active during the daytime. You don't really see black racers crawling around at night. This is a daytime snake. And they have those big eyes because they will visually search for their food. So when he's out here somewhere, this snake will exhibit a behavior called periscoping. What he'll do is he'll raise the front part of his body up off the ground, get his head as high as he can, and then he'll visually search and look for little critters moving. Now, here's something interesting. The black racer, his scientific name is Coluber constrictor. So how do you think the snake here kills its food? Constricting? No. Coluber constrictor is the scientific name. He is not a constrictor. This snake does not grab his prey and squeeze it. So why is he named that? I don't know. I don't know why he's named that. It's not a constrictor. So how does he kill his food? Well, he's not venomous, so he doesn't envenomate it. So how does he kill it? Basically what this snake does is he goes over and he grabs whatever he's gonna eat, and he basically just swallows it head first. That's it. And once the head gets inside the black racer's mouth, well, then it can't breathe. It suffocates, and he just swallows it down. That's how this snake kills his food. What does he eat? He eats a lot of stuff. He eats pretty much anything he wants to. They kind of remind me of king snakes because they have a varied diet. They eat lizards. They'll eat mice. They'll eat other snakes. So that makes this snake a really great snake to have around because they do get rid of pests. Not that other snakes are pests, but mice and rats and things that we don't want around. They'll eat birds. Look, he's trying to eat me. He's just trying to take a bite of me. These little guys, once they hatch and they start using up all the yolk that's in them attached to their umbilical cord, they're feisty too. They get hungry. That's why I want to release him as soon as I can, because this snake right now, this little newborn snake, his mom's not around. His mom's doesn't take care of this thing. This snake is ready right now to go out and hunt, okay? So we're going to turn these guys loose right over here in this log, and I really hope these guys do good, and I really believe that it will. Now, one more thing before I turn the snakes loose. I brought something with me. I brought this little water bowl, and I'm going to give the snakes a water bowl right over here so they can drink some water. Now, I'm going to put them down in the water bowl. Some of them might take a sip. Honestly, probably none of them will. But that's not the real reason I'm giving them some water. I'm giving them water because it's more of a selfish reason. I'm thinking if I give them water, the snake's gonna say, man, that guy's pretty nice. You know, he gave us water, hatched us out of these eggs. When I see him one day and he goes to catch me, I'm not even gonna bite him. So that's my hope. So here we are. Here's our container. And I found this stump, and there's a lot of little nooks and crannies and crevices and all running all down through here. And it's really, really great habitat, and pretty thick, and there's lots of critters that live out here. So I'm just going to put this little bowl down right down here and fill it with water. So I put some water down, and this is the first black racer I've taken out. We're gonna put him down here and just see if he takes a sip of water. I don't know if he will. Let's see. No, come here, calm down. No, let me show you the water. Let me show this to you. Here you go, fella. All right, and now for the rest of them. Here they go, right into their log here. I mean, I took the time to get a bowl and to bring water out here just for them. I don't think they appreciate the effort I put in. It wasn't a lot of effort. It was a little bit of effort. I don't think they appreciate. It's like I'm just aggravating them with this water. They are not appreciative of what I did for them at all. Well, they may not be drinking the water, but at least is washing the perlite off of them. Well, this one seems to like it. And so does this one. Or maybe these are the less intelligent of the bunch. They can't figure out how to get out of the bowl. Come on, fellas, don't drown in an 1/8 of an inch of water. There you go, stick your head up and get a breath. These guys are too funny. And nope, that one's not staying even for a second. That one either. Some of them just don't like this water, I guess. Well, like I said, Lisa's washing this stuff off of them. That one's going to take a little swim. He can't figure out where to go either. So even though this is a black racer, it's not black. It's more of a brown and some gray mixed in there. But as this snake grows, the pattern is going to fade, and eventually he'll be solid black. More like a flat black, not a glossy, shiny black, but a flat black with no pattern at all. So juvenile black racers look very different than adult black racers. And, you know, when we think of baby animals being born, a lot of times we do think of springtime. Lots of mammals and birds are often born in the spring. But here in the Southeast, most of our snakes either hatch or are born in fall, and there's a really good reason for that. Because you got to think, before the snake is hatched or before it's born, where is it? Well, it's either in an egg under a log somewhere in the woods having to incubate for a couple months, or it's in the mom's belly, growing in her belly as she's crawling around and foraging, looking for food. Well, if they were born in the spring or hatched in the spring, that incubation time would have to be before spring in the winter. And it's hard for a snake to get her body temperature up enough, or to get the temperature of her clutch of eggs up enough to hatch when it's cold. So snakes usually lay eggs in early summer, somewhere in there, and then they have the summer to incubate. And then the ones that don't lay eggs, they've got the babies in them, and then they've got the whole summer to be warm and to grow her babies inside of her as she's out actively foraging for food. So that's why we see a lot of baby snakes late summer and early fall, not just black racers, copperheads, cottonmouths, rattlesnakes, king snakes, rat snakes, black racers. A lot of snakes have their babies late summer and early fall. Having someone call me to rescue snake eggs instead of that person destroying the eggs, that's pretty cool. And then getting to hatch the eggs and see what's inside is so awesome. But then getting to turn the snake loose and watch it crawl off into the wild to start its life, that makes me happy.